meeting, Tuesday, December 16th. We have a quorum. I would ask Director Karimi, to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Second it.
So Director Rain-Sosak moves and Director Karimi seconds. Are there any adjustments or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I will go ahead and assume the agenda is approved then, as is. I will now ask for approval of the minutes from November 18th, December 5th, agenda prep meeting, and the December 5th special open meeting.
I'll make the move.
Second.
Director Karimi moves, Director Johnson seconds. Are there any corrections or changes regarding those minutes? Hearing none, I'll go ahead then and assume that the minutes are approved as presented. Report of the chair. I don't have anything specific to report at this time, and we'll talk later at the closing comments. All right, open forum. We have members have the right to speak for 3 minutes. We ask that they please refrain from identifying anybody by name and comport themselves in an appropriate manner.
And the things that are not on the agenda.
I know, but this guy's on the agenda already. All right, we're ready.
Okay, first speaker is Chris Collins.
Very festive.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here with an update on the work done by the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village, which we do on behalf of residents experiencing temporary financial crisis. Neighbors helping neighbors and changing lives. What makes a community great? It's not simply the golf courses or the weather. It's the people, the kindness they show one another. As a result of your donations and support, the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village has been able to help neighbors who are struggling. Medical bills, dental care, caregivers, groceries, gas card, emergency response devices, hearing aids. The list is long, but the real story is simple. These acts of help change lives. Every dollar donated becomes something real, such as safety, relief, dignity, a fresh start. Recipient thank you notes show how our donations impact, help, heal, and change lives. So here are a few examples. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the Foundation's caring assistance. I know I was just an anonymous case, which makes me appreciate the gift so much more because I know your kindness is there for everyone who has needs. We are so fortunate to have the Foundation. All your help caring for us seniors deserves more than a thank you. The Stater Brothers cards put a smile on my face and a reminder of your caring and hope. I can hear it. The hearing aid helped me. It helped me. It helped me. I just have to write and express how much the gift of the power chair is changing our lives. My husband already feels more independent and capable of taking care of himself. I was so afraid that he would fall again. This will help him stay among the living longer. Thank you for the extra life that we will be able to share together. Thanks to the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village for providing me with an emergency response device. I now feel safer and more protected in my home and everywhere. Thanks to everyone in the Foundation for the exemplary work you do protecting and caring for our neighbors. Thank you for your support for the Foundation of Laguna Woods. If you need assistance, contact Social Services at 949-597-4267, which is the entry point for Foundation assistance. You can contact the Foundation at foundationlwv@gmail.com, or you can learn more about the Foundation at thefoundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org. Because of this, the village, in the village, no one should have to face hardship alone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Bum S. Lee.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I am the only one having problem with the rainwater intrusion into my living room for 6 years. And I think that it should be enough. Okay, I'll tell you what the story is. There's a big pine tree in front of my condo. The pine tree needles will drop into the gutter. It blocks the gutter and the draining pipe. And when it rains, overflows into my living room. And that will damage my ceiling, living room wall, floor, and carpet, furniture, everything. I've been having this problem for 6 years. I think that should be enough. Something has to be done. So what I'm asking, what I know the problem is a pine tree needle blocking the gutter and pipe. So I was asking landscape committee trim some trees so the needle will not block the gutter, so I will not get this rainwater intrusion. I'm getting tremendous stress because whenever it rains, I cannot sleep because I have to watch my living room, watch for the rainwater overflow into my living room. I've been doing it for 6 years. That should be enough. Something has to be done. I cannot stand this thing anymore. So at this time, requesting trimming some pine tree, so hope I will not get this problem. That's all. Anything? This is the stress. When it rains, I cannot sleep because I have to watch the living room for rainwater intrusion for 6 years.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Okay,
I think that's enough.
next.
Next speaker is Annie McCary.
Good morning, Board and BMS staff. I am here on behalf of the History Center, and my name is Annie McCary, and I want to talk about something that's been considered one of the village's best-kept secret, and that is the History Center, which we haven't known much about it, but it's right here in the community, right by Clubhouse 1 and near the library. I want to tell you a little bit about what makes it so special. They archive all of the history of Laguna Woods Village and its surrounding neighborhoods. All that information is archived in the History Center, and it's run solely by volunteers. They're not funded by any funds from any outside source, solely on volunteers and grants and stuff that we get. So, not grants, but volunteer services. So it's in the community, it's available. We encourage people to come out and take a tour of the History Center. They're open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And you can also call and make an appointment for a visit or a tour and learn more about the History Center. When I first learned about the History Center, I was president of the African American Heritage Club, and all of the documents were handed to me in boxes. All of the scrapbooks with all of the photos and all the newspaper clippings, and I had them, and they were in the trunk of my car. And so I drove around in my car with these documents for the club. And I learned about the History Center from an event that was happening in one of the clubhouses. And we were informed that for a small fee, the History Center could take our documents, our scrapbooks, all of our photos, and preserve them so they could maintain their quality. And so they do that. The other thing I learned is that all of those Globe articles that I had clippings of related to our club that were starting to yellow, they can preserve those now so that they can be discovered easily for anyone who wants to come and do the research. So I encourage the board members, and especially any club members that have documents that you want preserved, to reach out to the History Center and get more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Doug Gibson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doug Gibson, 5289. Hello to everybody. Thank you for all your efforts that you put in on this board. Thank you to the staff of BMS. We've lived here for 21 years, and we've gone through 4 CEOs, I think, a change in management, a lot of volunteers on boards, great people to get to know, just wonderful opportunity. As we came in, not having been in a HOA before, we've kind of got accustomed to it and everything else. We've lived up in Gate 11 for a while, and for reference, there have been 3 major fires in that area in the last, I'm going to say 10 to 15 years, the last of which was highlighted in the Globe on 2 weeks ago. Well, I guess I'm not supposed to mention his name, but anyway, the article was a letter to the editor. It was almost specifically true right down to the gnat's ass. Excuse me. So I want to bring that to your attention from the standpoint because of the negative impact that that has on one of the largest homeowner associations in the state, if not the country, and is well regarded. But when those things stay unoccupied, and those 3 instances for sure, any place between 8 and 10, maybe up to this last one on Brazo, could go as long as 18 months that the people are unable to allow it. The other 2 I remember back on in, one was on Despacio, and the other one was on Duenas. And so these people have been out of their houses. They can't live on in. They can't, in any instance, get on in. And that's reflected by people that drive by for the period of, let's just say, 10 or 12 months. That's all the neighbors discussing what's happening and everything along those lines. And I really think that we don't need that type of notoriety from an organization and a place that's so nice to live in that we go from there. So this is an example of what maybe a fire in one of the units could do. It's not, but it is a close example because it gets on in there, and then you get into asbestos, you get into all the other things on it, and then you've got insurance companies, our insurance company, and then the individual insurance companies. And yes, it might be the result of improper insurance from the homeowner's standpoint, but I've gone and checked my homeowners association since this got involved a little bit more notably. And all of a sudden, I've gone to the point of finding out that State Farm is finally beginning to think that they can rewrite insurance in the village to new people. But right now, they aren't. They're not dropping somebody like ourselves in that area on it. So what I'm suggesting is that the management with the boards that are involved in this start attacking these insurance companies because they're really making it an unfortunate situation for people like ourselves. And it's not a matter of what caused the fire or caused anything else along those lines. It's just something has to be done at a house and stuff like that. And we've had discussions and everything else. My 3 minutes is up, and I'll be back.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Thank you. Final speaker is Mehdi Talapour, and they are a leasee, but we did receive written authorization from the owner of that unit to allow them to speak today.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mehdi Talapour. I'm here for this application that I submitted to Alteration Department for solar panel installation. It was like 4 months that we complied with all correction with the department, and finally they approved it, asked us to sign and notarize it by the owner. We did it and submitted, but for some reason I am still waiting after 6 weeks of submit of that one. We didn't receive any consent to go to the city to have the permit to start the actual job. The point is that if I'm not going to, sorry?
No.
The point is that if I'm not going to be able to do it before December 30th and have the permit and do the actual job, I'm going to losing almost $10,000 of the subsidy from the federal the government. And it's 6 weeks right now that everything from our side is done and sitting over there. And I have all the document to show you. Probably you guys know about it, that after December 31st, it's going to be expired, this subsidy that the government give it to me, and I am entitled to have it. And I don't know what should I do. And I don't have, today is the 16th, and the deadline is December 31st. So I really appreciate if you put it in something. If I need to, we need to sign something and say that they told me that there is going to be a legal change from the, but whatever it is, I don't know what it is. Why should I, at this time that is very critical for me, and we are talking about $10,000. If there is any paper that we should sign and say that we are going to comply, we are going to do whatever new legal thing is going to be passed, we are ready to do that. But please, I need that consent to go to the city and have the permit and get it done before December 31st. Thank you.
What's your unit number?
3281, Unit N.
Unit N is in Nathan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That is all for open forum speakers.
Okay. All righty. Chris Collins, thank you again. The foundation does absolutely phenomenal work, and we really appreciate, I personally, and I know other board members, personally appreciate hearing all the wonderful things that the foundation does. So thank you. Happy holidays to you and those at the foundation for all the work they do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, in terms of your tree, the tree will not be removed. The tree will not be trimmed out of time. You were told that at the landscape meeting when you were there. If you want to put in a request to clean the gutters, you need to go to the M&C committee, Maintenance and Construction. They are the ones that are involved in handling the gutter cleaning.
May I say something?
I'll give you 1 second. Go ahead. Because this is not a discussion, a debate. I'm just responding to your request. Okay? Go ahead.
Come
Step
to the
up.
microphone so we can hear you.
I've been having this problem, rainwater intrusion into my living room for 6 years.
6 years, yes.
And whenever I get an overflow, they told me that call resident service. So if you call resident service, after the rainwater intrusion, somebody comes, clean the gutter. That's when they've been doing for 6 years. This is not enough.
Well, they're not, Mr. Lee, they're
know
not going to remove the tree. They're not going to remove it. They're not going to
So
trim
what
it
would it
out of cycle. That's the landscape committee's recommendation, and the board in all likelihood will follow that recommendation. The only thing we can do is have your gutters cleaned, and you need to put in a request to have the gutters cleaned, and they will do that.
Well, they've been cleaning the gutter after getting damage in the
Mr. Lee, thank you. Annie McCary, History Center, good work, thank you. Doug Gibson, in terms of the issue of insurance and fire, etc. The unit on, I can only speak to the unit on Brazo, okay? One of the reasons it took as long as it's taken is that the insurance companies were in great disagreement, and that took almost a year to finally work out the understanding between the insurance companies. For example, one side wanted to tear down the existing structure and start from scratch. Another side wanted to leave the existing structure the way it was. And then they had to do all the asbestos cleanup and everything. And that's one of the reasons it's taken as long as it has. But my understanding is that now that's moving forward with architectural drawings, etc., to redo the building. Okay?
Yes,
That's not the only thing that happens, though. When there's a major fire and the property is vacated, the three instances that I'm mentioning, the people have been out of the house for, I'm going to guess, at least a year.
Yep.
And there's got to be some way or another that can be reduced by somebody can stand against the insurance company.
I understand what you're saying, but that's between the insurance companies, and we have no ability to control that. As for how long the person is out of their house, I would suggest to you that that's all part of your HO6 policy and how much time you have in terms of what you're purchasing for what they call loss assessment use, to be able to be put up elsewhere, etc. And that's something that each individual homeowner decides how much time they want from their insurance company to be out of their house if that happens. For example, I have 3 years worth of coverage if I'm out. So, but the insurance companies are the ones battling it out, and that's what's taken over a year in this particular case. Okay. As for the last gentleman, in terms of the solar, we will certainly look into that and see what we can do to address that issue for you. You are correct. There has been a legal issue that has held up some of this, but I think we have that under control now, and we'll do what we can to see about expediting your, I won't make you any promises, but we will do what we can.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
We did receive a member request to speak a little late. Are you guys okay with
Sure,
allowing them to speak?
sure.
Okay. This is the final one. Jae Jong Kim.
I'm Jae-jong Kim, 35013G. I have submitted the application for alteration of enclosure of a patio, and it's hanging on, and I do not understand why it takes us so long time.
Enclosure of a patio.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
And your unit is what number?
35013G.
So it's a balcony you want to enclose?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we'll have to look into that and see what the story is. I don't have any immediate answer for you. Okay.
Have they put a request for?
Did you file this thing, all the paperwork?
Yes,
through
I
alterations
filed
and-
all required paper, and I have got the signature from, I followed all the procedures.
Okay, I don't know the answer, but we'll look into that for you, and we'll get back to you. We'll have VMS staff get back to you.
We have a similar with another member, Barbara. She's my neighbor too. I think this issue is on the agenda for today, I assume, right? For the exclusive use common area.
The new license agreement, yes.
Yeah, so those are, if it's on the agenda, then we're going to discuss that today.
Not the individual cases, but the,
But the individual cases is about they're not allowed to proceed. If we approve, then they're going to proceed with giving them the permit to do it, right?
if we approve the license agreement, then
Then it's resolved, I assume.
it should move that process along.
Correct?
I don't want to speak to the individual cases because I don't know what's involved
No.
in the individual cases.
I understand
But
that.
the general idea is that if we approve the license agreement, that should move
Yeah.
things along.
Yeah, I think that's what they're asking, because that they put all of the requests through, and the issue was that the board is looking at the legal issue, and if it's approved today, that means the hurdle is gone, and they can proceed with their, changes into the exclusive use common area.
Exclusive use common area, correct.
Okay.
All right?
So
Thank you.
That's on the agenda today.
That takes care of, anybody else have any comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just have a question on Mr. Lee's request for his tree removal. I mean, he and I'm sorry he's gone, but he's attributed everything to the tree. And so it seems like there's multiple things involved here, is like the gutter, for instance, which is causing the damage, and that was he was saying, the damage to his living room. So I was just wondering whether or not, the tree is not necessarily the cause.
I'm sorry.
The tree doesn't appear to be the cause. It appears to be the gutters backing up the cause. And so I was just wondering if staff had any insight on how many times he's had to call about the gutters, not the tree. It sounds like he wants the tree removed and is making assertions as to the tree causing the gutter to back up. So, but if there's a gutter problem, then let's deal with the gutter problem.
We're looking into it, and I will provide a report back.
But we have the gutter cleaning plan for 3-story buildings, and there's money in there for gutter cleaning, and they're on a schedule. And if anybody want to do out of the schedule, they have to put a request. It goes through MSC, and if get approved, they get out of cycle cleanup. That's the process.
No, and I understand that, and that's great that you offered that solution. I just wanted to get to the bottom of, if I had water coming into my living room, I would want that dealt with. And he blamed it on the tree, which it sounded like was not appropriate.
Well,
yeah, but anyway,
all right.
you're going to take a look at it. Just to
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we're now ready for the CEO report.
I have a question regarding Mr.
Yes.
Lee. Yes. For 6 years, I have involved in that issue for 3 years now. They keep tossing him around between landscape and MNC. Instead of find out root cause, they keep tossing him around, and he's sick and tired of filing the gutter cleaning and so forth. We have to fix this root cause of it. We must fix it. If it is your gutter causing the damage every single rainy season, would you be comfortable to living in that unit? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're ready now for the CEO report.
Thank you, Honorable President, members of the board. It's my pleasure to provide some updates to the community this morning. In terms of the village holiday schedule, Village Management Services will be closed on Wednesday, December 24th, Thursday, December 25th, and Thursday, January 1st. You may view the holiday schedule on the village website under the News tab and the header Happy Holidays. In terms of some specifics, transportation will be available on December 24th for a planner ride between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and the Boost Lift program between 7 and 9 a.m. and 5 and 10 p.m. Transportation services will not run on December 25th or January 1st. You can schedule your rides by calling transportation at 949-597-4659. As a reminder, there will be no trash or bulky item pickup on December 25th or January 1st. Weekday holidays, delay service, 1 day for the rest of the week. And as a reminder, contractors are not permitted to work within the village on December 25th or January 1st. As we move into the new year, we want to remind residents that there is a great activities calendar on the village website, and this will help you find events, classes, meetings, etc., all in one place. You can filter by club events, recreation classes, and view daily, weekly, or monthly schedules. And that's on the website under calendars, activity calendars. Next, a reminder that the annual mailing was mailed and emailed on Wednesday, November 26th. This contained the individual assessment letters, annual budget report, and annual policy statements. As a reminder, there's a form enclosed in this mailer for members to update their preferred delivery method for official notices. We ask that members submit this form by Friday, October 3rd, 2026, and if not, we will use the current address on file, whether it's accurate or not. You can email this form to information@vmsinc.org or mail or drop it off to the Laguna Woods Village Community Center. I would also like to share some reminders about holiday waste disposal as we head into the season. First, to protect your pipes, holiday meals generate extra fats, oils, and grease known as fog, all common byproducts of cooking. Pouring these substances down the drain can lead to serious plumbing issues. To keep drains clear and running smoothly, allow your fog to cool and then pour it into an empty can or jar and place in your green waste container. Wipe pans and dishes with a paper towel to remove residual grease before washing them. On the list before you are some common items that should not be placed down the drain: meat drippings, gravy, sour cream, mayonnaise, bacon grease, salad oil, and so forth. Next is the What Goes Where Holiday Edition. Place in the recycling container your flattened cardboard boxes and catalogs. In the organic bin, small amounts of green waste such as natural wreaths and garlands, small amounts of cooking grease, and uneaten holiday food. In the trash bin, please place the envelopes with plastic padding, bubble wrap, wrapping paper with glitter or foil, and bows and ribbons. Christmas tree pickup will be provided by Landscaping Services on the first 3 Fridays in January, January 2nd, 9th, and 16th. Discarded trees will be ground into mulch and used in shrub beds and slopes throughout the community. Please contact Resident Services at residentservices@vmsinc.org or 949-597-4600, 48 hours prior to placing your tree by the curb. And in terms of the Irvine Household Hazardous Waste Center, we had previously announced that it would close on December 31st. As an update, the City of Irvine and the Orange County Waste and Recycling Group extended the license agreement. The center will now remain open for 1 additional year at its current location or until further notice. And a quick update on the Ting Fiber project. More than 900 homes are active in using the Ting Internet network. Crews are currently working in nodes 1 through 12. This covers the southeast area of the community near gates 1, 3, and 4. In the next 30 to 60 days, the work will expand to nodes 13 and 15 in the northeast area near gates 2 and 5. Broadband staff recently met with Ting project managers to align and accelerate the work moving into 2026. So you'll see greater activity in the new year. And lastly, facts about Ting Internet and the cable transition. We've received many questions and much speculation about Ting Internet and the transition to the DirecTV stream. To bring clarity and reassurance, a new frequently asked question answer publication was made, and this addresses the most common pressing questions about timing, when will cable TV end, equipment installation, router placement, EMF concerns, and service changes, billing, etc. Please visit Laguna Woods Village, the News tab, and Bringing Fiber to Every Manor to get accurate information and know what to expect as the project moves forward. And this will be updated as common questions continue to come forward. So this is your best source of accurate information about the project. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay,
Just one question. On Ting, the houses that have the internet, they have both West Coast and Ting available to them right now?
That's correct.
Okay. What about TV? I mean, the cable,
Still cable TV,
both
yes.
is available to them?
That's correct.
Oh, so they
No,
get
no,
free,
not
they get
direct-
free services for a while?
No, just cable TV, not DirecTV.
Not
DirecTV is not.
Okay. Okay. That's
DirecTV won't be available to anybody until about August.
okay.
August.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. We now move to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are recommended for action by committees and will be enacted by the board by one motion. In the event an item is removed from the consent calendar by members of the board, such item shall be subject to further discussion and action by the board. All right? So
I'll make a move to approve.
you make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Correct.
Premies? Do I have a second? Johnson seconds. Is there any discussion? Well, there isn't any discussion about the consent calendar. All those in favor of approving the consent calendar as submitted signify by raising their hand. All those opposed? Abstentions? I would... Did you not vote? Oh, you voted yes? Okay. All right, then we'll assume that it's unanimous. Thank you. Unfinished business. Number one, entertain a motion to approve the amended financial qualifications. This was put on November 28-day notification for member review and comments to comply with the civil code. That's been satisfied. If you would, Director Johnson, please read the resolution.
Resolution 0325-XX, Financial Qualifications Policy. Whereas Third Laguna Hills Mutual desires to protect and preserve the financial integrity of the corporation and ensure consistency among the provisions of its governing documents. Whereas it is in the best interest of the corporation to revise the financial qualifications policy for the purpose of enhancing efficiency and addressing key challenges by clarifying the following. 1, the member discipline process for providing false and misleading information. 2, the requirement of providing aged accounts 180 days when submitting net worth verification. 3, equity in U.S. residential property may be considered as an acceptable asset. Applicants do not need to show proof of California residency. 5, guarantors can only guarantee 1 unit at a time in the community. 6, income requirement calculations for multi-unit purchases. Now therefore be it resolved, December 16th, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby amends the financial qualifications policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting. And resolve further that said amendments shall become effective January 1, 2026, and shall be disseminated to the real estate community. And resolve further that Resolution 032570, adopted on April 15, 2025, is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of this corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. 28-day notification for member review has been satisfied.
Okay, somebody to move.
I'll make a move to approve.
Karimi moves to approve. A second. Fox seconds.
Peggy.
Okay, discussion. I see. Peggy?
Oh, she's got it.
Peggy?
Mute. I'm going to ask you to slow down a minute because you're going so fast. I can't get my hand up and I can't vote. So please just slow down 2 seconds for the disabled person here.
Okay. So
I want
your hand
on
is...
this.
Go ahead.
On this, if you have a motion on this, I would like to just discuss it for 1 moment.
Please do.
The most important factor on here for me, staff, is that the money be in the U.S. for 6 months in cash, in accounts, whatever, prior to being approved. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Discussion? Comments? Hearing none. Director Hopkins.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Is your mic on?
Peggy made the comment that it'd be at 6 months in U.S., and I don't see that on here. Not the timing requirements. I just see a requirement, so I'm just.
180 days.
Is it there?
Yes.
Yes, 180 days.
And it's definite. I mean, that's a must have.
What, I'm sorry. What paragraph is that timing requirement there?
On the resolution.
All the items listed below are U.S. items.
Right. Her requirement, her request was that it be in the U.S. 6 months or more.
Well, it says only aged accounts, 180 days will be considered.
Okay.
It says that. And
Yeah.
then it gives examples.
I get it.
And all the
Yeah.
examples are
U.S.
U.S. example, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just
want
I was
staff-
I was
I just
asking
want-
the question because I didn't see it.
And I just want staff to be very cognizant of this.
Page 37 of 38.
Okay.
All right.
Okay?
Any other
Thank you.
discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Okay. Peggy and Moon?
Yes, yes.
Peggy
Hold on.
votes yes. Moon? Moon, do you vote? Park, did you vote? No. You vote no?
I abstain.
You abstain, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yes, and 2 abstentions. Okay? Thank you. Moving on to 10B, unfinished business. Entertain a motion to approve the restoration of decorative architectural roundwood elements, or better known as Vigas. Director Johnson.
Resolution 0325XX, restoration of decorative architectural round wood elements, known as vigas. Whereas on June 17, 2025, the Board of Directors rescinded the directive to remove decorative structural architectural round wood elements, vigas, during the Prior to Paint program. And whereas on October 6, 2025, the Maintenance and Construction Committee voted unanimously to recommend that the Board of Directors approve restoring vigas on 81 buildings that had the vigas removed.
There appears to be someone ringing on the telephone, Millie.
What?
Go ahead. Peggy's phone.
Now therefore be it resolved, on December 16, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the restoration of 5-inch round decorative architectural round wood element posts, vigas, on 81 buildings according to the 15-year painting schedule. Resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution.
Okay, can I get a motion to put that on the floor? Director Rain Sotzak moves, a second. I see
Second.
Johnson seconds. We'll open it up for discussion. Any discussion on this issue? Michaela?
We do have a member comment whenever the board is ready. It was written in, so I would just read the email.
Please do.
Okay, perfect.
Since there's no discussion among the board members, go ahead.
And who seconded, by the way? Sorry.
What?
Who seconded? Oh,
Johnson second.
thank you. Okay, it's from Jay Lessie, and he said, "Good morning, board. I just want to make a brief comment to thank you for considering restoring the vigas to our buildings. Our buildings are more than just shells in which we reside in and in which we upgrade and remodel. Each building has a distinctive architecture designed with intent during the development of Laguna Woods Village starting in 1964. The Villanova, Cordoba, Monterey, and other models share a Southwest Adobe-style architecture which is defined by the vigas. Without the vigas, they are stucco boxes. Please restore the vigas and let this be the start of a new architectural preservation in the village, one that will upgrade curb appeal and enhance property values. Thank you."
Okay, thank you. All right. We're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Director Hopkins, yes, yes, yes. Peggy's yes. Moon, are you there? All right. Director Park? No. You vote no? Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yeses, 1 no, 1 abstention. Okay. Moving on to that takes care of our old business. Now we move on to new business. Entertain a motion to rescind Resolution 0309-108 due to persistent misuse of the policy by residents to construct unauthorized hardscape extensions to the common area. If you would please read that. You don't have that? Here's A. Here's A.
I'm missing A, sorry.
You got it in your right hand. Just read his. Just read it. Read this.
Resolution 0325XX, proposed rescission of Resolution 0309108, installation of pavers, gravel, decomposed granite, and stepping stones. Whereas Resolution 0309108 was adopted to address soil retention and accessibility concerns associated with the past re-landscaping program. And whereas the policy has since been increasingly used by residents to install hardscape in common area for purposes not intended under the original resolution. And whereas such use conflicts with mutual policies regarding exclusive use areas and has created ongoing enforcement and compliance challenges. Now therefore be it resolved December 16th, 2025, that the Board of Directors of Third Laguna Hills Mutual hereby rescinds Resolution 0309108 in its entirety, and resolve further that future requests for pavers, gravel, decomposed granite, or stepping stones shall be reviewed under applicable alteration standards and mutual policies, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to take all necessary actions to carry out this resolution.
Okay, can I get a motion to put this on 28-day notice?
I'll make the motion.
Karimi moves. Can I get a second?
Second.
More seconds? Okay. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just want to know how long it takes from the time that this variance is put in till it's approved or disapproved.
I'm sorry. What? Say it again?
I want to know how long it takes for a variance to go through the alteration standards department from the time that it's put in.
How long it takes for a variance to go through from the time somebody submits it to the
Yes,
time it's approved?
one of these. Yep.
All right. Megan Feelers is going to address the issue.
Hello. If they're wanting an alteration in the shrub bed, as far as a landscape alteration to put DG, decomposed granite down, it takes anywhere from 60 to 90 days to make it from the committee to the board. If they're wanting to put concrete down, I can't speak to that because it's going to have to go through manner and alterations.
So you're telling me how many days for most of them?
60 to 90 days if it's going to go through the landscape department.
How big of a backlog do you have?
We do not have a backlog at this time. They submit
Good.
it, depending on where we're at, it goes to the committee and then straight to board, usually 60 to 90 days.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Putting this on 28-day notice? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your hand. Oh, we have a vote.
Oh.
Actually, no, we're doing it this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Got electronic.
I have a yes.
Okay, we have a unanimous vote, 8 yes. So we'll move on to the next item. Okay. Next item is entertain a motion to approve the third Laguna Hills Mutual fee review schedule. Yes? You're pointing to what?
We're still missing Director Hopkins.
Director Hopkins. Oh. All right, thank you. All right. So it's all still unanimous. Okay, entertain a motion to approve the third Laguna Hills Mutual fee review schedule. Director Johnson?
Third fee review schedule, Resolution 0325XX. To summarize, Finance Committee recommends establishing a timeline for the review of non-assessment fee analysis in order to complete an expense analysis in a planned manner and bring supporting fee recommendations to the board in a manner consistent with the following schedule. We'll be reviewing the fees annually: permit fees, coin-operated laundry, machine fee lease, and processing fees. Biannually, inspection fees, additional occupancy fee, resale processing fee, golf cart electric fee and electric vehicle fee, and triannual every 3 years, resident violations, variance processing fee, non-sale transfer fee, carport and carport space, rental fee collection, administrative fee. Resolved further, on December 16th, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the fee review schedule as presented. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to carry out this resolution as written.
Can I get a motion to put this on?
So moved.
Moore moves, second. Rain Zozak. Any discussion?
Yeah. Why we have different timing for some of these fees to be reviewed? What's the basis of having different time for different fees to be reviewed?
Primarily the dollar amounts. So if something is less than $10,000, $15,000, it doesn't make sense to go have staff go through the time and review it on an annual basis. So the larger fees are done annually. If the board or any of the committees would like to see it on a different, say the next time it's scheduled isn't until 2028, but somebody on the board would like to see it done earlier, we can happily take it out of sequence and provide some input at that time. And then it'll go back onto the frequency of every 3 years.
I was looking for the rationale, why there's different. I mean,
Sure, dollar
if
amounts.
we're doing fee reviews, shouldn't we do all of them every year, or why we segregate them? Some
Sure.
of them 3 years, some of them 2 years, some of them 5 years.
It
What's
does
the
take,
difference?
Sure, it does take staff considerable time as well as bringing it before the finance committee as well as other supporting committees before it comes to the board.
It's just time?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Staff time?
Correct. So, and again, if the dollar amounts that the revenues that are drawn from these is, I don't want to say immaterial, but of lesser amount, then it doesn't necessarily make sense to bring it for you on an annual basis.
Because some of these things are, can be changed. For example, the charges for electricity. Every year is going to be different because things are going to change. Some things don't change very much.
Sure.
Is that the basis also, or just the staff time?
There will be some judgment involved, but at the minimum, it'll be based upon the schedule that was provided in the
Okay.
resolution. So if you see electricity skyrocket by 30%, we will probably take a look at all the fees that will be impacted as a result of that increase.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments related to this? Putting it on 28-day notice? All right, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please vote. All right, it's approved 9 in favor, so that's unanimous. We'll now move on to the next item. Entertain a motion to approve the revised common use area policy. I've asked our secretary, Director Johnson, to just highlight what the changes are, since it's a 4-page, single-spaced resolution. Rather than read the whole thing, there's only some minor changes, and I'd ask her to please just address those minor changes.
I wouldn't have a voice left after this. So essentially, this board is very firm in believing that we should not be giving away any common area. This resolution essentially says that we are allowing manner alterations to approve, like for like only, and that
Like for like equivalent.
equivalent, correct, without board approval of specific projects. Want to add more?
That's it.
Okay.
All right, can I get a motion to move?
So moved.
I saw Director Rain Sosak's hand, and then I guess
So
I
moved.
heard Director Moore as a second.
Second. Yep.
Okay. All right, any discussion?
There's a note at the end of this about,
Goes on 28 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on 28 days.
says, okay.
All right,
Okay.
let's go ahead and vote. Hearing no discussion.
Okay.
All right, it's unanimous, 9 in favor, thank you. We'll now
I
move.
just have one question. Because we're going on 28 days and there are people waiting in a pipeline, how we're going to deal with that, because we have that also 60 days, 90 days period that we have to respond to some of these requests. How are we going to deal with those issues?
Alan, you want to address that question?
Sorry, I didn't ask during it. After approval.
No. We'll let Alan address the question. It's perfectly fine.
Certainly. Good morning. Could you repeat the question?
Oh, the question is, because we have 60 days or 90 days that we have to respond to the request for addition, enclosure, things like that. Other than that, it's automatically approved. Now we have this time, and then there are 28 days, and we have another. So the time's going to pass, and some people put these things a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago, and that times have elapsed. How are we going to deal with those issues? Those are automatically approved now?
All right. Are you, well, let me tell you in general how this works. The
Okay.
time clock does not start for mutual consent until it comes before the ACSC committee. So that's when the time clock starts. All the preparation up to that point that we collect and prepare the mutual consent, review it, make sure it's compliant, is all prior to the time clock starting. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's,
So
pretty
if for
much.
some reason...
Where the clock starts and where the clock stops. Yeah.
So when it comes before the ACSC committee is basically when the time clock starts. So if for some reason it were to get disapproved or went back for alterations or review, that would all be a part of that process. Then it ends when it goes before the full board and they review it and or deny it or approve it.
So if I had a request put in September, and now is December, and there is no, resolution, what happens to me?
The CCNRs call for it to be approved by
Automatic approval? There is a lady sitting right behind you that have that issue. How are we going to resolve that?
We would have to follow the CCNR guidelines. I don't know, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because
But if somebody puts something in September, has it gone to the ASC committee?
Yeah.
If she's saying that's when the clock starts, is when it went to the ASC committee.
Yeah.
Did the ASC committee accept it or reject it?
no decision. This hasn't been because it was on hold.
So when did it go to the ASC committee?
That's the question I have.
No, that's
What happens with the hold?
Are you referring to, there's probably 5 mutual consents that have been put on hold
Yeah,
pending legal review.
correct.
So
Is the clock doesn't work on the one on hold, or the clock still works for the hold?
The former CAUA agreements don't go before a committee. So I'm not sure of the ramifications if something is put on hold that doesn't go before the ACSC or the board.
Yeah.
So
I
right-
know we're moving forward with it, we know, but then there are delays and there are other clock on the other side that says 60 days, 90 days, while we're moving this direction, that clock also is running. So it looks like the two different track that we looking at, and they are not merging. And if we are moving slow on this side, this one automatically give you approval to the members to proceed. If I understand it correctly, unless I'm totally wrong.
Well, all right. So let me clarify,
Okay.
or let me attempt to clarify. Previously, there are certain mutual consents that hadn't or have or had involved use of exclusive use common area. Every time that mutual consent is presented to manor alterations, the last phase in that approval is that it be granted a CAUA, which is a conditional use license agreement. And once that is approved or not approved, that is the end of that mutual consent process. Totally independent of that is a mutual consent that would need a variance. A variance also uses a slight, or used to use a slight deviation on a CAUA, but in essence, it requires approval of the requires approval of the ACSC, then requires the approval of the full board. That's for a variance approval. So right now, we have 5.
No, I understand the approval process. What I have problem is when things are on hold, which clock works? Then 60 days or 90 days clock works, or the hold stops.
There are.
I think we're going to probably need a legal opinion on this.
Okay.
I think we're going to probably need a legal opinion.
But we have people waiting in the queue.
I understand.
And they have problems.
I understand.
And we need to address that.
I understand. But I think we need to get a legal opinion.
May I?
Are we talking policy or process?
Process.
Process.
So,
There's a process.
yeah, but are we approving policy?
The policy is there.
This is going to be 28-day notice.
Right. So aren't we approving policy?
But it only relates to, the only change in it is like for like and like equivalent.
Right.
That's the only change in it. But the questions that Reza is raising are not addressed in this policy to begin with.
Exactly, and that's my point, is that I think we can discuss the the process of implementing the policy at some other point.
Peggy?
Yes, I'm agreeing with Reza and with Jim. We have a problem that things go in that department. They get lost before they come to AC. They get lost between there. The line for getting something done in this department, and I understand it's full, is horrific. And it needs to be reorganized to where the process works with the policy.
Okay. All right. I still think we need a legal opinion on when the clock starts and what happens with the clock and things of that nature. All right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. All right.
Robert?
What?
I think the clock should stop the moment someone brings in a variance. Not when it goes up
That's
and
an
down.
opinion, but I think we need a legal opinion.
Fine.
Thank you.
Your CCNRs do state, as far as a variance is concerned, it starts when it's reviewed by the ACSC committee.
They are 38 years old.
Thank you, Peggy. But those are what we have at the moment.
I
All right,
understand.
Peggy, thank you. All right, let's call the question, and if you please put it up for vote. Oh, we voted?
Yeah, we
Oh,
already
that's
voted.
right, I'm sorry, you brought it up afterwards.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sorry, thank you. All right, entertain a motion to approve the enactment of the alterations for the accessibility policy.
Resolution 0326XX, Alterations Accessibility Policy. Whereas the Third Laguna Hills Mutual recognizes the need to amend policies and create new policies as necessary. And whereas members have expressed concern over the time required to fulfill the variance process for common area accessibility improvements to their manor. And whereas the Mutual, through Resolution 03-18-146, adopted and implemented the Common Area Use Policy, which remains in effect for all alterations not contained within the proposed alterations for accessibility policy. Whereas that the Board of Directors determines that California Civil Code Section 4600, subsection B, Subsection 3, subsection F allows the approval of alterations to take place on common area to accommodate a disability. Now therefore be it resolved, January 20th, 26, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the alterations for accessibility policy as attached to the official meeting minutes. Resolve further that the determination of whether a proposed accessibility alteration, AA, meets the criteria set forth by the alterations for accessibility policy and shall be made by staff in conjunction with the ACSC and the full board. And resolve further, appeals may be made to the mutual board, whose decision shall be final and made in the mutual board's sole and absolute discretion. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. December initial notification,
Okay.
28 days.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Karimi moves.
Second. I'll second.
More seconds. Is there any discussion about this? Hearing none, let's go ahead and vote. And it's 9 in favor, unanimous. We'll now move on. All right, next one is to entertain a motion to approve the third mutual Monterey-style floor plan room reclassification policy.
Resolution.
I would like,
Oh,
Just gotta
ahead.
read the resolution first.
okay,
Resolution 0326XX, Third Mutual Monterey Floor Plan, Room Reclassification Change. Whereas the Third Laguna Hills Mutual recognizes the need to amend resolutions and create new resolutions as necessary. And whereas the Mutual recognizes the need to create a new resolution regarding the reclassification of a den, quote, to a bedroom, in quotes, for all Monterey-style floor plans. And whereas the reclassification will be endorsed by the Mutual with the condition that said reclassification complies with all current building code requirements necessary for a bedroom in parentheses classification. Whereas I will be the requesting member's responsibility to comply with current building code requirements. And whereas if any changes are required, the member assumes full responsibility for any and all costs necessary to bring the room classification into full compliance with current building codes. Now therefore be it resolved, January 20th, 26, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the creation of a new resolution for a room classification changes to Monterey-style floor plans as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution as written. This is December initial notification, 28 days.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Karimi moves.
Second.
And Johnson seconds. Any discussion?
yes, definitely.
Go ahead.
I want this to be a simple reclassification. I want the verbiage changed so it says, whereas a classification will be endorsed. I want nothing after that. I do not want to have to stop at VMS. I want it to go directly to the city. The city already has them as 2 bedrooms, all of them, and they are already reclassified. There is no reason why this should not be a simple reclassification. So I would like to offer a recommendation. However I do this, Robert, you're the ego law person, to just remove
What?
everything.
Wait, say
but-
that again, what?
I can hear it.
I want to just simply have it as a simple reclassification with nothing more being
So
required.
you're looking to amend the motion.
Yes.
So you're moving to amend the motion.
Yep.
Okay, is there a second to that?
What the amendment is?
What
Can you-
is the amendment?
Amend the motion to.
Amend the
She wants to
motion what?
amend the motion to say that basic,
It's basically reclassified the same as what the city has. So it should not have to go through VMS. It should go through the city. If the city, who has the two changes, which are both electrical, if they deny it, it will come back to VMS. We don't need to go to VMS, to the city, to VMS. So it's a simple reclassification to agree with what the city has already in place.
all right, that's her motion. Is there a second to that motion?
I want to hear Alan before, if
Yeah.
I want to second the
Oh,
motion.
okay. Alan, you want to address the comment, the amendment?
Currently, the motion will read that a reclassification from a one-bedroom den to a two-bedroom unit will be allowed. And the only condition in it is to that, if and when there is that reclassification request, that that be approved by the city to make sure that that reclassification complies with all current building codes. That's all there is to this.
So
there is-
VMS is not involved in the reclassification process?
No.
Then what does this mean? The last part of this, which says, with the condition that the reclassification complies with all current building, it does not say city.
I don't understand the question.
The current building codes, we don't establish building codes.
I know that. The city has the building codes and they are already all two-bedroom.
They already designated that two-bedroom.
That's
The
correct.
city recognizes that two-bedroom.
Yes. And this came up because VMS did not recognize them as two bedrooms. So what I'm saying is, Alan, what they need to be is recognized by your department as two bedrooms, as well as the city as two bedrooms, and they are reclassified simply as two bedroom.
Director Hopkins?
Yeah, it's, and I don't know all the details, but it's my understanding that bedrooms have certain qualifications and to be classified as bedrooms. I'm not sure that in the past, people who may have used it as a den have not made alterations that would make it more difficult to be classified automatically as a bedroom. So I think going to the city, VMS accepting the city's determination is probably the right way to go, and I think that's what this reads.
Thank you.
So, if I may, there's approximately 130 Monterey units in Third Mutual. The ones that we researched through the county records all were classified as two bedrooms. The intent of this resolution is simply to protect the interests of the mutual. If a member requests officially, if they want to sell their manor, for example, and they want it to be officially noted as a two-bedroom, then if it comes to the attention of manor alterations or the Third Mutual, the policy in place says we will allow that as long as the city approves your plan or verifies that your room meets the current standards for a bedroom.
Alan?
Jim?
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit confused. The city already says they're two bedrooms. They classified it officially two bedrooms.
The city has not.
Oh,
Yes, they have.
okay.
They are all two bedrooms.
I'm more confused. I thought
There-
I heard that.
The only documentation on the government side is the county records.
Oh,
And
the
the
county
county-
records. I'm sorry, the county records.
The county
say-
recorder's office has already classified at least the ones we looked at, and we looked about a dozen up. We didn't look at all of them, but
And I looked at more of them, and I looked at more of them.
Yeah, we have similar units in United, and they're all
Right.
considered two-bedroom.
So
Right.
if I may, what we're trying to preclude happening is if before this classification request comes up, they may have made changes that might disqualify this room change as a bedroom. So the policy is simply stating we'll allow the change, but you need to verify that it still meets the bedroom requirements from the city code.
If I may?
Yes.
If I may, Robert? There is no reason for you to look at it. The city will be able to tell you if there is a change. There are changes on the city level, on the county level, not on VMS level. So it just needs to be a simple reclassification. If there's something that needs to be changed, it is the city ordinance and they will come back. So we are not liable in any way, shape, or form to make these a simple clarification.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think the policy is written, it protects us, because what I'm hearing you say, Alan, is that in some cases, people have made modifications to the den that may disqualify it as a bedroom, even though the county designates it as a bedroom. So this kind of protects us in some way, and it's no harm, no foul.
If I may, Robert?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The harm, no foul is that it has to back up for Alan's department. There is nothing that should be there. The city will turn it around, and
Okay.
it will protect us.
Okay. Is there a second to Peg's motion? To amend? Is there a second?
Is there a second for my reclassification?
No, there isn't at the moment.
I just have a question. I know her intent, if I understand it right, is just to eliminate an extra hoop for people.
Right.
Yes.
If the city is saying it's a two-bedroom, the question is, I think Alan is saying there may have been a closet removed or a window changed, and those are requirements, and a door, for it to be a bedroom. If the city is going to look at it again, I think that's if I understand right, that may be where the hump is. We don't want people to have to go through an extra hoop for nothing, and I think that's
Exactly.
the intent of what Peggy is, of what Director Moore is saying. However, will the city actually make sure that it is indeed still a two-bedroom? That's what I hear Alan saying. Is
All
that
right,
correct?
let me ask this question.
So that's why I'm holding off the
Peggy,
second, because we just
Peggy?
want it to be simpler
Right.
for
Yes.
people, but not a violation.
So,
Yes.
is there a second to Peggy's move to amend? Hearing none,
But,
it dies.
but I didn't get the answer to the thing that was holding me back from seconding it. I said, if the intent is to eliminate hoops for people to go through, we would like to do that.
Well,
Thank
that's your
you.
judgment, then you
Well,
second
but
it.
it shouldn't be a judgment. It should be clear, because Director Moore is
Yeah,
saying
she's of that belief, yes.
that the city will check and make sure that it is correct. What I'm hearing from our own folks here is, does the city actually check that, or are they just going down a list and someone may have made a change that violates that? And so the intent, we want to have fewer hoops for people, but we also don't want
We need to protect.
violence. So
May I answer that? May I answer that?
Go
The
ahead.
civil two-bedroom overrides us anyway. All right? So the city has the ultimate yes or no, not VMS. So if something's changed, the city will catch it. That's our backstop, and that should be our backstop,
All right.
because that is the legal.
Okay, we're going round and round. Is there a second to Peggy's amendment?
I still haven't heard whether the city actually will check to make sure it
They do.
fits that. I haven't had an answer to the question.
It looks like from the background here that they have been checking.
What?
Do you want to second it or not?
Yes?
I agree, VMS should not.
I mean, I
make
don't
the
have an
decision.
answer to the, I still don't know. if the city's gonna
I think that the thing is that these units with the, city and the county is designated as two-bedroom. If there are changes during the period of time, last 60 years, we don't know. We're not going to go and check them out. It's the responsibility of people who sell the unit as two bedroom to make sure that the bedroom is right. And that's between the buyer and seller. We designate what the city said, these are 2 bedrooms. They're designated as 2 bedrooms. United sell it as 2 bedrooms. We don't.
We sell them as 2 bedrooms.
And it's not our job. It's, between the seller and buyer to make sure that the bedroom meets the specification when they sell it.
So, and if it's not our job, then I second the motion because the idea
It's
of the
not our
motion
job.
is to get rid of the.
So you second the motion?
Yes, yes.
So we now have on the table a motion to amend the current motion. And Peggy, just to make sure, looking at the original motion, where do you want it to end?
After it says the simple reclassification, I don't need any of the mutual with the condition that said reclassification complies with current.
All right, so what you're suggesting is that whereas it will be the requesting member's responsibility to comply with building code requirements? You're
Yep.
saying that should be eliminated?
That's eliminated, city will do that.
So you're eliminating everything?
But a simple reclassification is 2 bedrooms, which the city already has and the county already has.
All right, that's your motion.
Yep.
All right, any further discussion about this motion?
What kind of headache that gives you, Alan?
I'm sorry.
What?
What kind of headaches that give you? Any?
None.
What
Peggy, he's asking Alan.
Oh.
Are you okay with it?
I was just trying to
With the
read
changes.
the whereas as.
Yes.
So whereas if any changes are required,
These two.
which would be the total responsibility of the city, not VMS.
Not the VMS.
The member assumes full responsibility in any cost necessary to bring the room reclassification into full compliance with current building codes.
Yeah.
That's all done at the city. That's not done at Manor
So you're saying
Alteration.
we can remove that? That's what
Yeah.
she's wanting to remove?
Yeah.
She's want those 2 whereases removed?
Yeah, because it's all the members' responsibility and with the city, not ours, right?
So, may I, Robert?
Yes, go ahead.
So that what happens is, the city and the county have us as 2 bedrooms already. So VMS now will have us as 2 bedrooms. So if somebody comes for a pass that already lives there, they will be noted that this model is a 2-bedroom home.
Let me,
VMS will agree with the city.
Go ahead, Alan.
so let me clarify that. The county records office lists the ones that we checked already as 2-bedroom units. However, the plans on file here at the Manor Alterations office, most of them are listed as a 1-bedroom den. That's the whole reason this issue got brought up in the first place. We do get requests for reclassification of a 1-bedroom den to a 2-bedroom because the plans currently on file in VMS mostly indicate a 1-bedroom den. All this.
Let him finish, Peggy.
Okay.
So the city has nothing to do with how these plans are classified. The city is only concerned about if it is a bedroom, then it must meet a bedroom requirement. That's all they're concerned about, is that it meets current building codes. How it's classified, they don't care. But if a member comes to the city and says, I want to officially change my 1-bedroom den to a 2-bedroom, can I do that? The city will then look at the plans presented. They will compare that plan to the current building code requirements and either say yes or yes, but you may need to make these changes, or they will say no. So right now, this amendment or this resolution is simply stating from the third board perspective, you want to stay out of the reclassification or what determines it or not. You want to say, we'll allow it as long as it meets the current building code requirements. That has nothing to do with the county, how the county records it, or the plans currently on file at VMS.
Now, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
The county is the overriding factor in all of these plans. We established that several meetings ago. The only difference here between us, meaning VMS, and the county is that VMS has not totally reclassified them just in general. So the real estate person goes by the legal code, which is the county, which is 2-bedroom. The county goes by 2-bedroom. We do not. But United does. So we are the only ones not in compliance with all of them being a simple reclassification.
Okay, Howard.
Okay, first question. If there's a discrepancy between how we are showing it here and the county is showing it there, if we didn't have a resolution, if there's a discrepancy, who takes precedence?
The county.
Well,
County.
Again, this resolution is in place to cover the mutual. Of the 130 or so that we're aware of, whether there is an official request or whether a realtor just changes it automatically, if it becomes known to the mutual that there is an issue and the member is requesting officially that it be classified as a 2-bedroom, the mutual will go on record as allowing it, providing it meets the building code requirements of a 2-bedroom. That's covering the mutual's responsibility. Because we don't control over 40 plus years of all the changes that have gone on. The mutual has no way of knowing what those 130 room classifications actually are, or if any changes have been made to those in the process. So this is simply covering the mutual's responsibility.
So my question was, if there was no resolution and I had one of these 1+1 units and I wanted to call it a 2-bedroom unit, and we internally say it's 1+1 and the county says it's 2, who wins? If you put those two side by side, which one takes precedence? What we say or what the county says?
Great question. That's probably would be decided by legal. All this,
it'd be the
again,
county.
all this is covering the mutual's liability. You're going to allow, whether you 1-bedroom den or 2-bedroom, it'll be 2 bedrooms as long as the city approves it. If the city, for example, if the city were to look at the plans presented to them and they were to discover that a bedroom window had been changed that did not meet egress requirements, then at that point, the city would make them make the change to the window size to conform to a current bedroom classification. That the mutual is saying, we can allow it as long as the city approves it. That's all we're doing.
Okay, one more follow-up. Let's say we pass all this, and now all the 1+1s are 2. And I have one, and I don't want a second bedroom, and I don't want to incur the expense of converting that second room into a bedroom.
Don't have to.
Well, now I'm running afoul of not only the county classification, But now we just reclassified it here internally.
It's okay. I don't think
It's
you're in
not
violation
okay,
of anything.
because if it's a second bedroom, we have to make some alterations
This is a-
in order to comply with the
I
rules
know,
for a second
but
bedroom.
you're saying you don't want to do it. It's your choice. You can make it one bedroom. You can buy a 3-bedroom and make it 1 bedroom. That's your choice.
Nah.
That's your
Jim?
choice.
Yeah, I was about to say, what my read is that this policy allows for anything that has happened in the past, be, if there's a, quote, change in classification moving into the future, that all the parties involved with that classification understand and notify what that new classification is. And that's the policy, is to protect the mutual and
No.
allow the resident to do whatever they need to do to be in compliance. That's all this is doing. And I don't think it restricts anything that BMS or resident has to do.
Jim,
Agree.
it puts, Jim,
It just keeps mutual, again, I hear you, Peggy, but I think that all this is doing is keeping us, it allows a resident to do anything they want. It may add an extra step to the process, but that's also saves the mutual any sort of
we have
potential
6,000.
liability, because,
Okay. Anybody else? Donna? You look-
The whole idea, I think, of what Director Moore wanted to do was to not make residents go through an extra hoop. So is it a discussion for all of us, or is it a legal question of whether, because what we want to do is not be on the hook, and maybe we aren't, if the city's already saying, and I don't know that that's an answer we can do here.
Donna?
Yeah.
We've been given an answer in our prior board meetings, that the county is the legal override.
All
That
right.
has been established.
All right. Is there any new discussion?
I just want to make it easy.
Hearing none. We have an amendment on the floor, and the amendment is to remove the 2 whereases. So you'd have the 1, 2, the first 3 whereases, and then remove the next 2 whereases. Is that correct, Peggy?
Yes, it would just be a simple
Peggy,
reclassification.
just yes or no?
Yes.
We're removing those 2 whereases. That's your amendment?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we're voting on.
I'm okay with that.
Are we ready to vote? We're ready to vote.
I'm opposing it.
This is, we're voting on the amendment, right?
Yeah, voting on the amendment.
I vote for it.
I'm opposing.
Moon votes no? Okay. Donna abstained, it's 3-3, motion fails. Okay, now we're back to the original motion.
Wait, you didn't vote.
I only vote to break a tie or close a tie.
There
but I
is no
don't-
tie. It's not majority here.
It's 3-3.
Okay.
So,
Isn't that time?
all right. We're back now to the original motion in its entirety. We have a mover and a second. Is there any more discussion about the original motion? Hearing none, can we now vote on the original motion, which is the whole motion on the yellow page?
I vote no.
Can we get the vote up?
I'm voting no.
All right, it fails. So we have nothing related to this going on 28 days.
All right.
May I
Donna?
request that we just seek a legal opinion of if we even need to do this? Because we want to eliminate extra hoops for people that they don't need to go through, but we also want to protect
Donna, I don't know how many
Mutual.
times I've said we have a legal
I
opinion.
make a
Well, I don't
motion
know
to
we
send
have.
this back to the committee for another review.
You send it back to committee, move, all right, Karimi moves to send it back to the committee, is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Fox
I'll second
seconds it,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
Any discussion about sending it back to committee? Hearing none?
Okay, what we want to hear from the committee. Now, we assigned a committee. The committee has put up what we want them to do. I want to send it back, but I want to know why we're sending it back. What is our question? Why we rejecting everything?
Yeah.
We just don't like it?
No, may I?
What we want the committee to do?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
may
made
I?
the motion.
I made
So
the
what is it, so what is it you want the committee to do?
I made the
You made the
motion.
motion.
I made the motion to go to the committee with understanding what this board wants from the committee, because it cannot go anywhere else. Other than that, it goes to Never Never Land.
Jim?
I think all of us have heard the discussion.
What?
and so- I think all of us have heard the discussion. And so when the committee takes it up in session, they can look at all of the discussions and consider that. So I don't think we need to give the committee any direct instructions as to how to deal with this. I'm sure Alan will be at the committee meeting, and he will also recount all the discussions here.
I'm personally in favor of getting a legal opinion.
That is what I would like to ask, too,
I'm
because that's the
personally in
whole
favor of getting a
basis of
legal
the
opinion,
concern.
one way or the other, and the discussion.
Well,
That sound like a reasonable?
yeah, I think the committee can get a legal, I think the committee can get a legal opinion, but I also think the discussion, I don't think it rests strictly with a legal opinion. Yeah, I think it really discussed, what we just talked about is trying to save save residents a process. And at the same time, there is really confusion. The county says one thing, we say another thing. This diversion has lasted for 40 to 60 years.
Gotcha, okay. All right.
It just making
Moving
a
on.
lot of-
No, we have to vote on sending it back to committee. All those in favor of sending it back to me, we don't need to vote on the screen. All those in favor, signify, just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, they put it up on the screen, so go ahead and vote about sending it back to committee. Only 4 people have voted. Anybody else voting? All right, that's 5 in favor already, so it's being sent back to committee. Okay? Next on here is entertain a motion to approve the revision to the interior inspection of unoccupied manors policy.
All right, this is another long one, so I'm going to try and summarize to the best of my ability. This Resolution 0326XX, Unoccupied Manor Inspection Policy. This supersedes a policy that was enforced in 2018. Essentially, it allows the VMS, the mutual, the ability to go into an unoccupied manor with notice. If it's been occupied for 6 months, the owners to be notified that they are allowed inspection. In case of an emergency, that we're allowed to go in any case without any notification. And this is coming from the fact that we've had some leaks and in manors that are not occupied, and there's been no knowledge of them until they've done a lot of damage and mold to other units. So that's the purpose of this policy.
Okay, this goes on 28-day notice. Can I get a motion to approve? I see Rain Sotak moves and Johnson seconds. Is there any discussion about this? Hearing none, we're ready to vote to move it to 28-day notice.
Right.
We're missing 2 people voting.
Oh.
We're missing 1 person. All right. It's approved, 7 yes, no no's, and 1 abstention, so it's on 28-day notice. Okay. Our last item of new business. Entertain a motion to approve licensing agreements. This is
the new one.
This is
Yeah, the new one, okay. That's
the new one.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Resolution 0326XX, License Agreement and Alteration Fee Schedule. Whereas approvals of alterations that meet the requirements of Civil Code and existing mutual standard and policies for installation in common areas, exclusive use common areas, and limited common areas requires the execution of a license agreement. And whereas the required agreement should be prepared by the mutual's legal counsel to ensure protection of the mutual's interest, and whereas alteration and variance requests require significant staff time for proper processing, including research, report preparation, presentation to the appropriate committee and board, and whereas several tasks are performed in conjunction with alteration and variance requests, namely plan check changes, mutual consent reinspections, correction notice reinspections, and license agreements. And whereas in order to account for the staff time spent processing the tasks above, the board has adopted 2026 alteration fee schedule. And whereas the 2026 alteration fee schedule more accurately reflects the fees associated with all the administrative times it takes to process all the associated tasks. Now therefore be it resolved January 20th, 2026, that the board hereby adopts a flat legal fee in addition to any adopted fees in the third alteration fee schedule of $300 for the preparation of these agreements as a pass-through charge from Mutual's legal team and shall be incorporated into the alteration fee schedule. Resolve further the processing of agreements for all other approved alterations, including exclusive use common area as recognized within the footprint of the property, and non-permanent improvements in common area limited to the use of pavers for golf cart parking, driveway replacement, exterior door landings, and accessibility alterations will also utilize the same license agreement and fee. And resolve further, the staff preparation time for license agreements shall be $50 or as noted in the third alteration fee schedule. Resolved, typo. Resolve further, unless noted, all other fees listed on the alteration fee schedule to remain unchanged. And resolve further that Resolution 0325-150, adopted October 21st, 2025, is hereby superseded in its entirety and no longer in effect. And resolve further that future revisions to the alteration fee schedule will be reviewed and undertaken as one cohesive resolution every year with board approval. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purposes of this resolution. This goes on 28-day initial notification.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Remy moves, and Johnson, is that your hand up?
Yes.
Johnson's hand up for a second. Any discussion? I will just share with everybody, primarily for the people at home who may be watching this or listening, that we had a legal opinion that the previous license agreement was an illegal license agreement, and therefore we need to have a new one that is actually a license. The other one ended up being what they call a covenant to run with the land, and those have been deemed illegal by the attorney. So we have a new license agreement that's been prepared. The good news for members is that the old license agreement with the old attorney was $850, and the new one is only $300. So there'll be a savings in the end, and it'll be an actual true license agreement. Okay?
Just a question, for those who in the past went through the run with the land route, do they have to do it again?
No, they don't have to do anything.
And what does it?
They're grandfathered in.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Quick question, what was the typo that Director
At
Johnson
the
pointed out?
Bottom of first page, the last resolve.
It's missing a V.
And the second to the bottom has the
Oh,
spelling. in it.
perfect, okay, thank you. Just want to make sure it's correct in the minutes.
Director Hopkins.
Yeah, my question is, I noticed that the fee, the staff fee has been reduced from 100 down to 50. Is that, what precipitated that change?
Staff fees being reduced from $100 down to $50?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fee associated with the license agreement used to be $750 plus 100 staff fee. And now it looks like it is the $300 with $50 staff fee.
So there were two contracts in effect. The old alteration fee schedule had staff processing time at $50.
Okay.
The new license agreement is technically simpler. We don't require, it's not requiring a county registration. So it is a one fee across the board, just for staff time of $50.
Thank you. Anybody else, questions?
I don't have any questions.
Go ahead.
I don't have any questions.
Oh. I misheard. I thought you said I have a question.
No.
Okay. All right. Hearing none, can we go vote to move this to 28 days, please?
Moon and Peggy, are you guys both for?
For. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Moon.
Okay, 7 and 8 in favor. It's unanimous. That takes care of all of our new business. We now go finally to committee reports. And up first is Director Fox with the financial report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay.
Madam President.
I think we have a few charts to put up, slides. I think. Okay. Okay, so on this first slide, we get a summary here of the revenues and expenses of the mutual. And this slide shows a combination of both operating and reserve revenues and expenses. And it shows that we have total revenues through October 31 of $41 million. And we have total expenses of $39.6 million. So we're showing a net surplus through October 31 of $1.8 million, which is in excess of our budget by $2.2 million. I believe some of this net surplus will kind of get used up in the next couple of months due to the timing of certain expenses occurring. Okay, let's move to slide 2 and see what's going on with our expenses. Okay, the most significant ones, obviously, as always, is insurance. And we have a positive variance, favorable variance of $1.1 million due to the savings starting in June at our property insurance renewal. We're estimated to have a net favorable to budget amount of $1.6 million by the end of the year on insurance. Outside services is next up, and it's primarily in landscape due to mowing cycles being moved in-house to in-house labor, and in M&C due to no contingency funding being needed for full copper pipe replacements through the reporting period. This is offset by unfavorable variances for roof replacements where work was completed earlier than anticipated, and damage restoration where more moisture intrusion and plumbing-related events occurred than anticipated. But we're still at a favorable variance through October 31 of $600,000. Next up are the fees and charges for residents, and that is a positive variance of $458,000, and that's due to damage restoration revenues for moisture intrusions being charged back, I guess. Next comes the investment income, and we're getting a little higher rate of return than anticipated, so we're up $280,000 through October 31. Materials and supplies, we have a favorable variance of $227,000. Our negative here is utilities and telephone of $437,000 through October 31, and that's due to the water rates, trash rates, and electricity rates going up. And now we move on to slide number 3, sorry. Okay, on this pie chart, okay, we present our non-assessment revenues earned to date of $3.3 million, starting with our largest revenue generating categories of investment income, chargeable services, then we have various and sundry smaller like lease processing fee, laundry revenue, permit fees, and so on and so forth. The chart speaks for itself. Slide number 4. Here we see our expenses through October 31 of $39.6 million. Our largest category is the employee compensation and related expenses, followed by the outside services. So more than half has to do with labor. Next, we have utilities, which have gone up because of all the rates being charged going up. Insurance is a significant number, and then all the other small sundry expense amounts making up the full $39.6 million. And we move on to, well, how do you do? Slide 5. Okay, in finance, we try to keep a close eye on the operating portion of our financial results. The operating fund shows a surplus of $702,000 through October 31. This table shows how much of our revenue went into operations, with $26.5 million coming in from assessments and $2.1 million coming in from non-assessment revenues. This is compared to operating expenditures of $27.9 million, not including depreciation. Slide 6. Okay, the non-operating fund balances on October 31 totaled $36.2 million, at the bottom right corner of this chart. Year-to-date contributions, interest, and fund transfers totaled $12.8 million, while expenditures were $11.6 million. This table shows us that non-operating fund balances increased by $1.2 million overall since the start of 2025. Moving on to slide 6. Okay, slide 6. The non-operating fund balances on October 31 totaled $36.2 million. Year-to-date contributions, interest, and fund transfers totaled $12.8 million. Sorry, am I on the right? This is slide 6, right? Yeah, I'm repeating myself. Okay, yeah, slide 7. Okay, we compare the non-operating fund balances to historical fund balances for the past 5 years on this chart, which has averaged $32.8 million. Third Laguna Hills Mutual has been committed to supporting reserve requirements and having more contingency funds for unexpected events. And finally, slide 8. We have a slide here to show resale history from 2023 through 2025. Through October 31, 2025, third resales totaled 293, which is 8 less sales than the prior year for the same time period. The average year-to-date resale price for a third mutual property was $626,000, which is $7,000 less than the prior year for the same time period. And what else do we have? I think that would be it.
Okay, your next meeting?
Do we have another meeting? Yes, we have another meeting. Our next meeting is February 3rd, 2026 at 1:30 in the boardroom.
Thank you. Next up is the Architectural Control and Standards Committee. The committee met on December 1st. The committee forwarded to the board the proposal related to the Monterey reclassification, which now is being returned to that committee for another review. There were no variance requests that were considered at that time. The only one that actually came forward was referred to another committee as appropriate. And the next meeting of the Architectural Committee is scheduled for January 12th, 9:30 here in the boardroom. Next up is Director Karimi on maintenance and construction.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Maintenance and Construction Committee met on December 1st at 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom. Some of the issues that we discussed was GVA handrail updates that for the Garden Villas, the paving repair at the cul-de-sac 224, red care for the cul-de-sac 364, red care for the cul-de-sac 2021, and we also discussed the building 2399 rec room restroom and looking at the restroom for the other Garden Villas too. Item for discussion, we discussed the roofing program. Mr. West provided a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation about the roofing program and summaries that. The items for the future discussion, which is going to be in January 5th at 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom, are Garden Villa building handrail installation, Garden Villa Association engineering seepage report, incentive to update pipes or install dedicated water shut-off valves, and Gate 11 nuisance water seepage consultant, and a couple of other ones that are not on the agenda right now will be added. Thank you.
Okay, next up is the Landscape Committee. Director Wayne and Director Parsons, both members of the committee, are not available. I will share with you what I know, which is that there were approximately 5 tree removal requests. They were all considered today under the consent calendar. They also had a discussion about the installation of pavers, gravel, decomposed granite, and stepping stones that we put on today for rescinding that, and that was sent forward. And the next meeting of the Landscape Committee is January 8th, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom. Next up is Water Conservation.
Great. The Water Conservation Committee held its quarterly meeting on October 30th. It does meet the last Thursday of January, April, July, and October. And in the Treasurer's report, you heard that the only really adverse report financially was in the utilities area, and although much of that had to do with increased rates, when it came to water, a lot of that increase had to do with water usage. And that's where we as members, as residents, can make a difference. And so We are looking to have a community-wide approach with collaboration with GRF and United as well, and having people working more towards water conservation. And we look for some things, both publicity and hopefully some spots on TV6, which we hope will be coming up. Our next meeting will be January 29th. Again, that would be the last Thursday of the month, and we hope some of you will be here. It'll be right here in the boardroom.
Thank you very much. Next up is the report of the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee. I will share with you that this committee met on November 26th, and much of today's business items that we submitted that are now on 28 days include the common area use policy, the revision to the interior inspection policy, the enactment of the alterations for the accessibility policy. Those are the items that the committee considered, and the next meeting of the Compliance Committee is set for December 23rd at 9:30 here in the boardroom. Next up is the Garden Villa Recreation Room Committee. Dr. Yoon.
We met October 29, and then everything is under budget, and everything is the maintenance is all in schedule, and there's nothing much variance, and I can report. And the next meeting is March 18, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we move to the GRF committee highlights, and we start off with the Community Activities Committee. Director Fox.
Sure. Community Activities Committee. Okay, this is hard to describe the committee, but let me just say that the committee has undergone a change in personnel, and I'm looking forward to great progress being made in many of the policies and recreation related things going forward. The last meeting of the prior administration really was not much different than the months before, a lot of discussion, but nothing really being determined. But again, that's really all I have to say right now.
Except the next meeting is January 8th at 1:30 in the boardroom.
It is?
Correct.
I better be there.
Now you know. Now, give us your report on the traffic hearings.
The traffic hearing. Yes, traffic hearing. That's always an exciting thing to go through. Okay, so everybody comes in here to contest rolling through stop signs or speeding or committing other infractions. And they walk in here, and the first thing we do is we read the report as to what's going on, and then we show them a video. And they see in the video that they were going 45 miles an hour in a 25 zone, or they rolled right through a stop sign and narrowly missed hitting somebody. And then they stand there and they sheepishly, like, you could see the look on the face, why am I here? Which is what we ask ourselves on the committee. Why are you here? What can you offer to us to justify committing these infractions? And they usually, it's like, oh, I just wanted to see, and they leave, and that's it. That's how most of the activity is on that committee. So, in short, nobody went to jail, so we're okay. And that's my committee report. And the next meeting.
That was one of the best reports I heard.
The next meeting is tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it.
At 9 o'clock here in the boardroom.
9 o'clock, and nobody's invited unless you did something wrong.
Next up is the Disaster Preparedness Task Force. Director Karimi.
Well, the Disaster Preparedness Committee met on September 30th But according to the report, there was another
Then
meeting.
November 25th.
That's what I was going to say. That was on November 25th, and I don't have any report on that to give you, and I don't know when the next meeting is.
January
unfortunately.
27th at 9:30 here in the boardroom.
Thank you for helping me with that. Appreciate that, Mr. President.
GRF Maintenance and Construction Committee, Director Johnson.
That's not my
Yeah, last meeting was held on December 10th. They reviewed the 2026 capital plan, issued some contracts for roofing for the next 5 years and for pool maintenance. Also looked at putting out an RFP for building E. I'm not sure what that's going to exactly read. So the next meeting is February 11th at 9:30 in the boardroom.
Thank you very much. Next up is Director Fox, GRF Finance Committee.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Okay, so the Finance Committee last met twice in the month of October, and we did not meet in November for the GRF Finance Committee, so there's really nothing to add to what was discussed last month. And what was discussed last month is business as usual, trying to keep expenses in check and find sources of revenue that won't bankrupt the members of the village. And the next meeting just happens to be tomorrow, 1:30, right here.
Okay.
Don't be late.
Next up is GRF Mobility and Vehicles Committee, Director Hopkins.
Yes, the committee met on December 3rd, and up for discussion was the continuation of and make permanent the recent changes in the bus schedule. There were quite a few concerns from the residents as to the how much service that the changes provided, and so even though staff had recommended that those changes be made permanent, the committee decided that that those changes should go another 3 months and perhaps a survey or some understanding of the impact of those changes. Further, it was brought up that we should take a look at, again, the opportunity for some sort of after-hours bus service for events, etc., as those with mobility issues are limited in their ability to attend some of those events. So those are things that we are operating. The next meeting is February 4th, 2026 at 1:30 in the boardroom.
Thank you very much. Next up is the GRF Landscape Committee, Director Rain Sotak.
Yes, the GRF Landscape Committee held its quarterly meeting on November 17th. There were no major changes made, and the next meeting will be February 11th at 1:30 right here in the boardroom, and also, of course, virtual.
Thank you very much. Next up, Space Planning Ad Hoc Committee, Director Karimi.
There has been no meeting so far, and we don't know when we're going to have a next meeting on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, Information Technology Advisory Committee, HITAC, Director Hopkins again.
Yeah, we didn't meet the last time, so there's not really more to...
Is your mic on?
It's on now. Yeah, the committee is continued to move and just to look at what's going on. Bottom line is, we still expect to complete the project in the first quarter, and it is a continuous improvement project just by the nature of it.
And your next meeting is March 27th here in the boardroom at 1:30.
Yes, March 27th. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is the GRF Broadband Ad Hoc Committee. It met on December 10th here in the boardroom. It was an open meeting, and there were a variety of people from Ting who were present. There was a discussion about where we are in the process and whether or not, how far behind we are we catching up, etc. And it appears that things are moving along much more smoothly now. They had a major hiccup with the original installer of the fiber optic, and apparently the original installer was not doing an adequate job. They terminated that relationship, employed a new installer that appears that they're very satisfied with the quality of the work, and they expect now to pick up the pace and they still expect at this point to complete the project on time. There was a question raised earlier today about when people can expect to have DirecTV. The DirecTV will not be coming to your manor until around August of this year. August of 26. And the next meeting of the Broadband Committee is January 14th, 1:30 here in the boardroom. Next up, GRF Security and Community Access Committee, Director Moore. You're muted.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Okay, I'm unmuted. We had a meeting on October 22nd. It was the last meeting of the GRF representative. I'm hoping we get a more active one this next time, hopefully. The people that come before us, their main complaint is people not stopping at stop signs and not paying attention to the speed in which they go. And some of the walkers are feeling very unsafe. So we're looking into that issue, and our next meeting will be on February 25th, 2026 at 1:30 in the boardroom.
Thank you very much. So, Director Fox, maybe you do need to send people to jail.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Okay. Future agenda items. We have revised common area use policy, which we just addressed, the alterations policy we just addressed. We'll go back to the drawing board on the Monterey style floor plan, reclassification. Are there any other items for future agenda? Or they will just crop up from the committees as appropriate? Okay.
How are we doing on the revision to the interior inspection of unoccupied, or is that?
Oh, that was already, that was put on
Okay.
28-day notice today. Okay. Director's comments. We'll start with you, Director Moore.
Okay, thank you. I would like to go back to, let me find my notes. And this is only because I had an issue. And that's Mr. Lee, who's had 6 months, who spoke to us at the beginning of the meeting. And the gutter cleaning. The gutter people were really wonderful when they came out here. They found they had a clog way down in the bottom of my downspout. It took them a while to find it, but when they found it, everything worked perfect. So I'm going to ask a favor, and I don't know how I do this, whether I ask Reza, if we could get somebody out to Mr. Lee's to look at the downspout coming from those, whether he's in a 2-story or 3-story building, and it may be a clog in there that is not getting quite pushed out. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Okay. Director Moon.
Nothing.
Thank you, sir. And now we'll start with Director Hopkins.
Yeah, ditto, Peggy. I detected that either that Mr. Lee had a problem with the gutter, and that perhaps that was not a completed or not assessed appropriately, or maybe he had exaggerated his problem with the living room. But anyway, great meeting. Thank you.
Okay, Director Rain Sotzak.
No comment.
Director Karimi.
No, thank you.
Director Johnson.
No comment.
Director Fox.
Well, first of all, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Same to all the VMS staff. And thank you for all your hard work all year long. And that's all I got to say.
Director Park. No comment? Okay. I will reiterate and support what Director Fox just said. We wish everybody, whatever holiday you're celebrating, may it be a joyous one for you and your family as we enter the new year. We also want to thank all the VMS staff for the hard work that they've put in this whole past year, and we look forward to working with them in the future. And I also want to thank all the board members for all their contributions. It's very much appreciated. And to the residents, thank you very much, and we look forward to future input from you. Other than that, we will recess, and we will reconvene at 12:15 for the closed board meeting. Thank you.
You may have